Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Polygon, OneOf. Cheryl is now a speaker. Obviously, let's pull Sandeep up. Let's pull Lindai up. Garib, Hero Maker. And I'm going to look for Will down there as well. Fully charged. I see fully charged. Let's pull fully charged up. Okay, Sandeep, good morning. Lindai, fully charged Hero Maker. Garib, OneOf. Polygon. Cheryl, I see you. Okay, you're a speaker. And we're just missing Will. I believe we're missing Will Minio. All right, I guess we'll get started. Let's give it another 30 seconds before we get started. Top right of Twitter Spaces. Don't click leave. Click those three dots, and you can share. Actually, no, the arrow. Yes, you can share this Spaces on your Twitter. So please do that if you're in the audience. It's the early morning on Monday. Kind of brutal, but I'm on 75 cups of coffee, so I plan to keep this Spaces pretty fun and exciting. All right, Garib just followed me. Thanks for the follow, Garib. I appreciate it. Everyone down below in the audience, feel free to start following all of the speakers of this room right now. There's going to be some serious alpha dropped on this call. If you're a comic fan like myself, you're going to really enjoy this Spaces. We have some of the most legendary people in the space that are going to be making some announcements here, if you haven't heard already, in conjunction with OneOf and Polygon. Have some really good things to talk about, some interesting stories to tell everyone about. We will be giving away 2 free NFTs, so if you stay through the whole Spaces, I'm gonna tell you how you can all claim and get some free NFTs today. It's free NFT Mondays. It's a good time to be alive. All right. Cheryl, I guess we're just waiting on Will. If you don't mind messaging him, we could certainly get started without him, but I'd love him to be here. All right, I'll just get into it. So I want to give an overview. If you all give me 1 second. All right. So I'm going to give an overview of how we're going to run the Spaces here. We will leave questions for everyone at the end. So don't think this is going to be just us speaking to the audience. We definitely want to interact with everyone listening. So first, I'm going to give introductions of all the speakers here. Then I'm going to give an overview on the Spaces and why we are all gathered here this morning. And then I'm going to get into some individual questions that I have for all of the speakers. We'll kind of go on a one-by-one, speaker-by-speaker questions that I have lined up. After all the speakers answer the questions that I have for them, we'll get into a Q&A with the audience. And I hope that we can wrap this up in less than an hour. I don't want to take everyone's time here this morning. So I guess let's kind of get started. Let me just make sure if we have all. Will. All right, cool. Sandeep, thank you for the tweet. Everyone's on different time zones here. Sandeep, I'm not sure if you're in Dubai, but most of the OneOf team is located in Miami. We have other members from the OneOf team in New York, and of course our LA office is still asleep like they always are at this time. Just kidding. I know there's some people from LA who are here also. All right, so let me get started. So my name is Eric Mendelson. I am the director of blockchain business development at OneOf, and I also help assist in Web3 marketing department. With us, we have Sandeep, who is the CEO and co-founder of Polygon. Good morning. We have Lindai, who is the CEO and co-founder of OneOf, and also my boss, so I have to be on my best behavior. We have Garib, who is the CEO of Hero Maker. Hero Maker is in charge of Kumite as well as Fully Charged, which we'll be discussing today. We have the critically acclaimed Sherelle Rhodes, who is the director of Stanley Holdings and former Marvel publisher. And we have Will Minio, who's not on yet, but who will be joining us. Will Minio is a acclaimed animator. He's also the co-creator of Slam Girl. And as I say every time Will joins me for an AMA, I can never do his discography justice. So I'll let him introduce himself and discuss all the different properties that he's involved in. But he is behind some of the most influential comic characters, comic franchises in the world today. Overview of the Spaces, as I mentioned, I'm at OneOf. OneOf is a Web3 environmentally friendly marketplace. We started off launching music NFTs, quickly realized that we needed to get into sports and brands. We've worked with some of the biggest sports IPs and brands from Amex to eBay to Muhammad Ali to Doja Cat, and we're launching comics. So we're going down the comic vertical, which is an important space. I'll allow Lynn to get into why we're going down the comic route. We're launching these comic initiatives in conjunction with eBay, who's one of the largest marketplaces in the world. They have over 160 million users. So we're launching our comic initiative with eBay. The two comic collections that we're introducing today are Slam Girl and Fully Charged. Both of these collections will be minted on top of the Polygon technology, which is why we're here being hosted by Polygon, and we appreciate all of you for having us today. And yeah, we're going to get into introducing the Slam Girl and Fully Charged. This may be the first time some of you have heard about these two properties, especially if you're on the Polygon side. And if you're on the Fully Charged side, you probably never heard of Slam Girl. And if you're on the Slam Girl side, you probably never heard of the Fully Charged IPs. So we wanted to introduce these to you today. Again, everyone is on different time zones. That's why we're doing it early. Typically, we do our spaces around 3 p.m. to accommodate a lot of different schedules. But I know that we wanted to accommodate Sandeep's schedule. So Sandeep, welcome.
Hey, thanks, Eric, for having me here.
Absolutely. The last time I saw you, I think me, you, Lynn, Josh, and other members of our team were in New York at NFT NYC last year, and I could swear that we all met at the bar drinking. So at least you and I have that in common, which is pretty cool.
No, I'm not that much of a drinker in that sense. But when you go to US, I think that's where the real talk happens. So you have to when in Rome, behave like a Roman kind of thing. But I'm not that big on drinking that much.
All right, very good, very good. Where are you located now, if you don't mind me asking? Are you in Dubai or are you
Uh,
stateside?
I'm currently in Dubai.
Okay, very good. Okay, I'm a little jealous. I spend a lot of time in Dubai. I may come out there for the F1 races in Abu Dhabi. So if I do, I'll take you out for a nice dinner. Anyways, all right. So
Absolutely, sir.
all right. So let's get into a few questions here. I know your time is valuable, and I do appreciate you taking it this morning. I guess your vision for Polygon, specifically in the NFT space. Where do you see this all going? How is Polygon playing in the NFT world?
Yeah, so when people think about NFTs, my only kind of concern over is that people think of NFTs as these current only collectibles part. Like when we think NFT in our mind like Bored Apes, crypto, crypto NFTs come to mind, right? In my mind, I feel that NFTs have three different main sections, right? First section is this collectible art, kind of like rare NFTs, right? Which is currently the biggest segment
Right.
of this entire industry, right? But I also feel that apart from that, the second big segment is the gaming segment, right? Where which is becoming I don't need to say it has become absolutely humongous. It's just that these big studios, when they come into when they launch games, their cycles are much longer. But I can clearly see there are at least 500 games worldwide, launched up or lined up to launch in the next 6 to 12, 18 months from very high capable teams who have who have been there, done that in the Web2 world. So that is going to also explode as a big segment of these overall NFT volumes around that. And the third segment that I feel is this, that the celebrity, basically IP related stuff like celebrities, brands, engagement, loyalty points, where you guys saw that Starbucks and these Instagrams and all these people Reddit NFTs and all that, that is happening. Even for example, the Comic Con NFTs and these famous comics, now they are doing NFT. These are all existing IPs who are finding this new way of direct peer-to-peer engagement with their end customer. That is where these three big segments are there, and this is the third segment. And I am very, very bullish on this third segment, like this existing IP segment, because if you see the overall rare collectible space, in terms of the overall luxury spending and all that, it is a significant part, but it's still fairly small compared to what you have, let's say, in gaming, or let's say what you spend with celebrities, brands, and engagements, and these kind of things, right? So that's where I think Polygon is present across these three segments. I would say second and the third, like gaming and this third segment, IP related segment, Polygon is more prominent. And I feel that all three will play a very important role. But the second and the third segment, I'm more bullish on in the longer run.
So right. I understand completely. So smart contracts have been around since, let's say, 2017, 2018. And I personally don't feel like people really understood what smart contracts were, at least let quote unquote the lay people or the lay person, the non-technologically savvy individual. Would you say that NFTs are probably the path of least resistance to understanding how a smart contract actually works?
Oh, for sure, for sure. I think what NFTs have done in the last 1.5 years is completely like, because I've been working with the Web3 OGs for quite some time, right? Nobody, trust me, nobody of us who have been in the space for past 5, 6, 7 years and have been talking about NFTs and gaming and whatnot, thought that this will become this big. Like today, like, here we are talking about eBay is involved here, Comic Con and things like that. And I can tell you one of the largest iconic brands I spoke today itself, right? And this is all when, we are already seeing so many big brands and so many, large Web2 companies are looking to do NFTs. So it has absolutely kind of made Web3 mainstream. And you rightly said it that this is the easiest way to take Web3 mainstream, where an average person clearly understands what exactly an NFT is. It's the perfect meme. So definitely yes.
So I pay attention a lot to what happens in India in terms of from like a startup technology standpoint. I'm also I come from the music industry, and one of my former partners is a Grammy Award winning music producer, and he's actually produced for some of the biggest Indian artists, from Guru Randhawa to Badshah to Raftar to Yo-Yo Honey Singh on down. So I really have my pulse on what's going on in India, and I don't know if there's been a more successful Indian startup, because Polygon is still a startup than Polygon. So how are you guys able to kind of like break the mold out of India and kind of like take the world by storm with this amazing, technology that you've created?
Yeah, I mean, that has been a very tough journey, like I can tell you that. As everyone knows that, we started as, Matic, and then at that point in time, like, we were considered some fringe project because, most of the projects that were coming out from the Southeast Asia, India side and all that were not really high quality. Many of them outright scams and all that. So we never really got that attention and respect on a global scale, right? And in terms of even raising money, like we went out for raising funds. We initially hardly raised like 150K. Next round we raised like, I don't know, maybe 450K or something, right? Hardly. And it was very hard to convince the Western Silicon Valley crowd and all that, like, that we are building this thing and something this capable can be built. And I think our story has been that underdog story since then. Like, I mean, because we had less resources, and we had to work our way through, grind our way through. So we work directly in the weeds with the developers in the hackathons. Like, we do hundreds of hackathons. Even when we had less money, we still spend like a large part of our treasury in doing hackathons and developer activities, developer grants, this, that. And that slowly, steadily compounded its effects, right? And then in 2021, when we rebranded to Polygon and expanded our scope, then suddenly it kind of blew up. We were approaching that threshold point. And once we reached that, beyond that, like, that hockey stick growth, I mean, quite honestly, it surprised me also. Like, last year, we, like, January of 2020 or December 2020 or January 2021, we had like 100 apps on the platform. And then today it's like some third party reports are saying 40,000 applications. So, it's like absolutely unfathomable for us also. But and that journey has been difficult, but now I think we have a global presence, global respect. And then we kind of, the we also did a fundraise of $450 million and all that. Like, imagine, the previous to this, our last fundraise round was $5 million in the crowd sale in IEO, and a VC fund was the last one, was the 500K. So 500K to 500 million is like, that's the completely crazy journey. But I also feel that even now, I think there is that I don't think there is any, in the sense of emergency and all that, nothing, anything changed in us, because I think that chip on the shoulder is still with us. And one thing that you said is very important, like, very few people, like, you would not even know any kind of global Indian startup, right? And where we are today, if we fail from here, let's say, but this is something that keeps me up at night. Like, if we fail from here, then next time another startup comes up this far, everybody is going to say that, oh, you remember Polygon? They also became big and then died out, fizzled out in the time, right? So we have to make it big. We have to make it like, make sure that this becomes like a Google or a Uber, or, really big global brand, which gets remembered, which stands the test of time. And that's what keeps me up. And in fact, not only me, the whole team, that we, want to make it like a sustainable and long-term withstanding, project and brand.
Yep, you and I have a lot in common because I've had a chip on my shoulder my entire life, so I'm right there with you. You mentioned you raised the $450 million, but you're also giving back. Well, not really giving back, but you also just launched a $50 million investment fund yourself, correct? So,
Yep.
and that investment from what I researched is that you're looking for startups that are based in like the markets that don't get a lot of attention, India, for example. So I guess what's your investment thesis behind your investment fund that you created? Have you made any current investments? In what area are you specifically Web3 focused? I'm assuming, like, what are you trying to do with the fund right now?
Yeah. So, like with the fund, like for me, when I started in Web3, and in all this journey, like, in all those tough days, one thing was very clear to me, that when and if I make it on a bigger stage, I will make sure that the people who are coming after me, especially from these regions, will have some sort of support. Like, I had to do it almost without support, right? Like, very very little support from any side, right? So, and then I don't really, like, people say that, oh, you must be proud that, you came here, without all of this and all that. I feel that, in fact, the reverse. Like, I feel that a lot of our things could have been well optimized today. Like, the things that I have to go back and fix, like, the legacy issues, the, kind of the overall operations within the, this Polygon Studios lab, which kind of, evangelizes Polygon and all that, could have been much better and, kind of well set up if we had at least some support, right? Or we even had mentorship. Forget about money. If we had proper mentorship, which, projects which get properly funded from the VCs, they at least get the high level ideas that, guys, you should do like this, at least some guidelines. We did it like, just like kind of in a completely bootstrapped mode. And I feel that that journey could have been, maybe, I feel like maybe I'm a guy who's never satisfied. Like, I feel that, we could have been much further if we had some more support previously, because I don't see us like slowing down if we had support in the past, right? And good entrepreneurs will be like that only, that if they get support, it's not like they get support easily early, so they will slow down. In fact, they will make it even bigger. So my goal is, and I said to myself at those times itself, that, I will try to make a point that, if I make it, then I will help the people who are coming after me. And then that's what is the core thesis for me, that especially in these regions, although, the fund is like global, it is open to take in, give investments everywhere. But especially for me, the focus area is that people who are coming from this part of the world, and if they are really, hardworking, tenacious entrepreneurs, they have some support, some window or some wormhole which who can take them into the zeitgeist, right? Like, zeitgeist, whatever you
Yeah.
call it,
Yeah.
and they don't have to crawl their way through the way we had to do.
No, that's great. Well, us at OneOf, we certainly believe in collaboration. That's why we're collaborating with you guys. So definitely lean on us as your partners. And obviously, we're also collaborating with the Slam Grow and Fully Charged team in conjunction with eBay and New York Comic Con to roll out these projects starting tomorrow. So let me turn it over to Lynn. Lynn, welcome. I also want to introduce Josh. Josh James is also the co-founder of OneOf. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. So yeah, I mean, I just want to set the stage, and the real stars here are the Slam Girl and the Hero Maker team. I want to save most of the talk time for them. But I think it's important for us to kind of go back a little bit on how these projects came about and why we are partnering with Polygon and also eBay on these projects. So Sandeep, just really amazing hearing you talk about kind of where you think the growth for NFT space is. I think we completely agree with you on the number two and number three on kind of the key IPs and also gaming. So these two projects, we thought of for a very long time on how to get into the comic space properly. OneOf already is kind of a leader in music, sports, and brands. We literally just dropped the world's biggest female artist Doja Cat NFT with in conjunction with JBL, the world's largest audio brand, this past weekend for JBL Fest. We're the official NFT partner for brands like Anheuser-Busch and for American Express and eBay. The goal really is, here at OneOf, we care really about how to onboard the next 100 million non-crypto native users, right? So there's about like a little over a million kind of very crypto savvy users at the peak trading on OpenSea, but that's still a very small percentage like from where we stand. So really kind of the eBay partnership took months to formulate. With the official NFT partner for eBay, our software is integrated into eBay in a way where your 160 million buyers and sellers can actually purchase NFT without actually having any crypto expertise. So that's why we kind of think about taking IPs and really kind of making NFTs accessible, right, to everyone. So kind of the idea of how do we create millions of NFTs fast, cheap, and securely, and get that into kind of people's hand, including my mom's who don't understand NFTs. So Polygon is a natural choice, because of the transaction fee and the green footprint and all of that. So the idea for the comic IP is really interesting because I think perhaps the days of just putting out a PFP project is over. When we're thinking about long-term plans and long-term kind of utility, not only that, like, yeah, sure, there's tons of liquidity on, from 160 million real buyers on eBay all day long. But what we really think about the evolution of both where the Slam Girl IP goes and what fully charged IP goes, is we're actually building a battle arena software where your characters can actually be used in a gaming capacity as a peer-to-peer. You'll be able to battle your fellow collectors, right? So there's a few phases of the project that's rolling out. So that's where we're really excited, not only taking kind of the best IPs, but also kind of eventually that will tie into gaming very specifically as well. So these two IPs we're very excited. They're very different. Slam Girl came from literally kind of the creative minds of the legendary Stan Lee from 20 years ago, something that he kind of really thought about and envisioned as, when he started envisioning comic is more than just drawings on pages, right? This whole immersive digital universe. It's really not until today that we full on have the technology to have in Web3 to enable, what probably Stan's original vision was 20 years ago, which is really exciting for us. And we have his co-collaborators on the call today. And also fully charged is kind of on the other opposite side of the spectrum. It's really kind of created natively with Web3 in mind. It's a brand new IP that is kind of created by and created for kind of the Web3 audience by, some of the most expert in the space from Hero Maker Studio. So super excited by about both of these projects, and our partners at eBay was super excited when we brought this to them, and told them we want to launch this at New York Comic Con. So I'm going to turn it over back to Eric, and who'll give the floor back to the project leaders to say a little more.
Yeah, absolutely. Great, Lynn. Couldn't have said it better myself. So Gareth, let's start off with you. Welcome. I don't think I properly did you justice when I introduced you. So if you don't mind, just give us a little background about yourself, where you come from in the comic space, and I guess give a little more background about Hero Maker.
Yeah, so it's incredible to be on the stage with so many amazing partners here. My name is Gareb Shamus. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Hero Maker Studios. And my background is I've been in the superhero world my entire life, literally growing up as a kid collecting comic books. And then when I graduated college, started a magazine called Wizard back in 1990-91. And that just took the world by storm. We were literally the Rolling Stone or Sports Illustrated of the comic book world. And by the mid-1990s, it became so big that I wound up throwing a party for everyone, called it Comic-Con, and 20,000 people showed up. And it was just a magical moment in time back in the mid-90s when people felt alone. We were the geeks and the nerds of the world. And all of a sudden, we felt like we were part of our own tribe now. And that's what kind of galvanized the whole movement. I produced 180 Comic-Cons, sold 5 million tickets, but more importantly, have reached billions of people around the world, and really had an impact on how brands and companies treat their fans and interact with their fans and their communities. So that's why when Web3 came around, it was this incredible opportunity because my whole life has been content and community. So here at Hero Maker, what we're doing is we're doing world building. We're literally creating an entire universe of franchises. So whereas Star Wars is a franchise, Pokemon is a franchise, Marvel is a universe of franchises. That's what we're doing at Hero Maker Studio. We already have over 30 different franchises that we're working on. We launched with Kumite. It was an epic success back in mid-June. We sold out our 9600 collection, and it's this epic battle between heroes and villains. And now we're launching Fully Charged. It's a property that I created with Jim Quick, who's the #1 brain coach in the world, had a #1 best-selling book on Amazon called Limitless. And we created this character franchise called Fully Charged, and we're so excited to be able to launching it with OneOf and Polygon and eBay. Just a momentous occasion here.
Great, excellent. So what was the motivation behind creating Fully Charged specifically after launching the successful Kumite?
So one of the things that we're trying to do is reach lots of different audiences and lots of different themes that you don't really cover in traditional paper-based comic books, because it's Web3 native, and we created these franchises like, well, what can we do that could really appeal to people? And because Jim Quick is the #1 brain expert, we said, well, how do we create a character and characters that aren't just going around beating up people, but use their brain and their mind to solve issues? And that was kind of the heart of what we wanted to do. So Fully Charged, it's an anime manga type style property, character franchise, and it's about a guy and a sister, and they're ethical hackers. So that's another theme that in today's world, everybody tries to focus on, the hackers that are trying to do bad. We wanted to do something about hackers that are trying to do good. And then they ultimately get caught up in a scheme, that creates a lot of trouble. And now how do they use their mind and their brain to succeed and excel, as opposed to trying to beat people up to do that?
Yeah, excellent. I know from our previous AMA that we did last week that you're excited about the collection being minted on top of Polygon. But after successfully rolling out Kumite, why did you decide to work with us at OneOf? What was it about what we're doing that made you want to release the Fully Charged collection on OneOf in partnership or in conjunction with eBay?
So one of our biggest philosophies is that we're so early in the Web3 world that we just want to collaborate with everybody that we can. Anybody that's trying to build audience or get new people or make it easy for people to enter the NFT or the Web3 world, we want to work with them. I kind of use this expression that we're all on a rocket ship, and it doesn't matter what seat you're in, you're on a rocket ship. So we just want to work with everybody, and it doesn't matter who's on that rocket. We just want to be there with them. And exactly what Lynn said, talking about, OneOf working to get the next 100 million people. Well, why wouldn't we want to be a part of that? Lynn and I have been friends for many years, and it was a perfect opportunity to work together on this and to be able to work with Polygon and with eBay. You're talking about partners that have had lots of experience. They have a lot of validation and authenticity in the space. And for us, it's so important, to be able to work with partners, that feel the way that we have, that are in it for the long term, that want to build real value in the space. And we want to do incredible things for the fans and the community out there.
Excellent. Well, we definitely appreciate you coming over and working with us. We're really excited to launch. If you weren't, for those in the audience who weren't here at the beginning, we're launching the Hero Maker collection tomorrow. You can sign up for your interest at oneof.com. We're going to be launching the primary drop for Hero Maker tomorrow on eBay's NFT marketplace. But you can still register your interest on OneOf, where obviously secondary collecting, secondary trading will be happening shortly thereafter the launch. I want to turn it over to Cheryl Rose. Cheryl, welcome. Cheryl, you got to click the mic is on button in the bottom. There you go. Welcome.
Can you hear me? Oh, good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Happy to be here.
Pretty good. Did you avoid the the hurricane in the Carolinas? Are you okay?
Oh yeah, we just had a little wind and rain, nothing to worry about. I was glad I wasn't at my place down in Key West where they got a little bit more wind.
Yeah, that's true. Well, again, I didn't do you justice either with my introduction, so please provide the audience with a little bit of background on yourself, and then we can get into some Slam Girl specifics.
Sure, happy to. I guess my minor footnote in the comic book world is that Stan Lee handpicked me to succeed him with the title of publisher of Marvel Comics back in the mid-'80s, and I became the executive vice president of Marvel Entertainment. And as a result, Gareb and I go way back. Gareb and I worked together when he was running Wizard Magazine. As a matter of fact, I have a wonderful little statuette sitting right here next to me that I won at the 4th Wizard Award as the favorite publisher in the Wizard Fan Awards. Marvel won us that year, and Gareb, I thank you. I still have that.
Amazing, Cheryl. It's so great to be on the same Twitter space with you after all these years.
Exactly.
Yeah, you were just an amazing, wonderful person to work with back in the day. It was just a great handover back then. And that statue is a pretty rare statue. I will tell you, a lot of people in the collectible world are after those these days.
They'll never get this one.
But, all right, good.
What happened is many years later, I'd gone on with my publishing career with other companies, with Reader's Digest and another whole group of clients. But a friend of mine around 2017 acquired the assets from an old company that Stan Lee started in a period that he had left Marvel before he came back to Marvel. And he asked me to curate the assets and advise him what to do with them. And as I was going through all the wonderful things that Stan created back then, I came across a character called Slam Girl, which I'd never heard of. And I've written a couple of books, college textbooks on the comic book industry and the history of American comic books. And I was just amazed that here was a Stan Lee creation that I didn't know about. And Stan had never told me about, although he had told me about some of the aspirations that apparently went into it. And it's a reinvention of the superhero for the internet age. Well, that was his plan. He did it kind of as a parody of Peter Parker Spider-Man. It's a millennial slacker girl who gets bitten by a radioactive beer can called Old Spider Bite Light. And it gives her superhero powers. And even though she doesn't really want to be a superhero, she has no choice because the League of Evil Bastards is out to get her. And so I found this wonderful idea, this wonderful concept fully developed and just never launched because his company went out of business during the dot-com burst. And so she just never got her day. Well, I went searching, and I found out that she was co-created with Stan by Will Mineo, and Will should be on this call. And Will and Stan developed this, and I hunted Will down, and I said, Will, let's do something with Slam Girl. Let's give her a life. Let's give her the due she never had. And Will said, well, I'm retired. I'm happy. I don't really want to get out there in the action again. And I said, yeah, but Slam Girl never had her say so. He says, you're right. I always regretted that. So Will has joined me. He brings all of the artwork that he has built upon for Slam Girl, and he brings all of the backstory that was created back then and the ability to extend it into the future. And so Slam Girl was actually the first character created for cyberspace, for the internet, and she was meant to be part of a multiverse that had lots of different characters. And so I'm excited because I now have control over 100 IPs created by Stan Lee that most of the comic book world and the NFT world doesn't know about. So developing this and working with OneOf to bring this to the public is really kind of exciting.
Awesome. Thanks. Yeah. So I'm actually looking for Will. I know that Will is messaging me in private channels saying he's in the room, but I don't see him. So I don't know, Polygon host, if you see, or OneOf host, if you see Will Mineo down below, please bring him up. I don't see his handle. But Will, why don't Cheryl, why don't you tell us a little bit about Will and about his background? Again, I didn't do him justice either on the intro.
Well, I'm sure I can't do Will justice either because Will has a long, distinguished history in the comic book world and as an animator. He was involved in a lot of the animations of X-Men and Spider-Man and various other animated TV series. He was also involved in a lot of other properties like DNA Agents and Planet just a whole array of them. And when he gets on, he'll tell you about those. But what I've enjoyed is that Will and I worked parallel in the industry for years and never met each other. We didn't know each other until we came together with this project. And I've been delighted to work with Will because we just lapse into a lot of nostalgia of, oh, you remember so-and-so? Oh, yeah, I knew him well. Oh, well, he's my buddy, and so we know all the same people in common, and so it's really so smooth to work with Will, and he's so full of ideas, and he has such a great sensibility for what goes into a superhero, and so he's done a great job of helping us build this whole world around Slam Girl, and all of the characters that inhabit her world, and all of the villains that inhabit her world. And as we always said at Marvel, that the superhero is only good as the villains they face. And so he's come up with a great array of villains that he and Stan had invented back in the day, and he's amplified on those. And they are somewhat reminiscent of old Dick Tracy villains or old early DC Batman villains, where they're almost exaggerated caricatures, and they're such fun. And so you're going to find when you go to the Comic-Con this week, and you go to the eBay booth, Will and I will be there to greet you, and we will be signing wanted posters of these villains, and they will go along with NFTs that are being offered of the battle scenes, 3D battle scenes of Slam Girl doing battle with the League of Evil Bastards. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, so we're coming up, again, I don't see Will, or I'd definitely pull him up. We're coming up on a little bit over an hour now on the spaces, and I wanted to try to keep it to that. But I did promise that we would take questions from the audience. And I also promised that we would be giving away two free NFTs. So if anyone is interested in Slam Girl or Fully Charged, hopefully you're interested in both, go to oneof.com right now, sign up for your interest for both collections, and we have a free green NFT from each of the collections that you can claim right now. So oneof.com, check it out. 2 free NFTs. You can register interest for the collections. The sale of the collections for both Fully Charged and Slam Girl goes live tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on the eBay marketplace. For those that are located in international markets, and I'm sure many of you are, the eBay marketplace sale is open to US, UK, and Germany-based residents only. However, after these collections go on, Canada, that's right, and Canada, we're obviously expecting both of these collections to sell out, and you can pick up these NFTs on the secondary market on OneOf shortly after the collections launch on eBay. So with that being said, I guess let's take some questions now, and then I can get into some of the details of the sale, unless Lynn or Gareb wanted to add anything else before we took audience questions.
Yeah, no, I just want to add, if you guys want to head over to, it's oneof.com, just spelled out oneof.com/slamgirl, one word, or oneof.com/fully charged. So both are basically set up where you can claim a free NFT right now, register your interest. Whether you have a MetaMask or wallet or not, it doesn't matter. So you can actually sign up with just an email address and claim your first free NFT. If you are a expert, you can then kind of as a second step export your NFT into your own wallet. But you know, for the platform is designed for everyone. If you are a comic lover, regardless your expertise levels, we can we'll take care of your make sure we secure your NFTs for you. With that, Gareb, you have anything to add before we open up to questions?
Yeah, just that. Yeah, we're going to be also at the booth at New York Comic Con signing autographs. Jim Quick and myself are going to be there on Saturday afternoon. So please stop by, bring your wizards, we're going to have some Hero Maker stuff and some Fully Charged stuff to sign. So if you want to just come by and see us, we're going to be there. So we're really excited to be able to launch this also in IRL.
Yeah, and on Thursday, we're going to have Will Mineo drawing live in the eBay booth from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday. On Friday, we'll have both Cheryl and Will in the eBay booth again from 11 to 1, also signing wanted posters, as Cheryl mentioned, which is only exclusively available at the Comic-Con show. And then, of course, on Saturday, we'll have the Hero Maker team, as Gareb just said, in the eBay booth. What I didn't do is I didn't get into details, too many of the intimate details of the collections, because we're talking about 2 different collections, a lot of different NFTs. But what I will say is that they're all reasonably priced. For the most part, NFTs are in the $20, $40, $100 price range. The quantities for both collections have been kept very low, or what we consider very low for the collections. And like I mentioned, we do expect them both to sell out. They are going for sale, like I said, tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on eBay, with the secondary sales on OneOf to follow shortly thereafter. And we will obviously be participating and carrying on the sale throughout the entire Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, which happens the 6th through the 9th of October in New York City. So with that being said, I guess and we are having obviously exclusives at Comic-Con. So if you're at Comic-Con, please stop by the eBay booth. We're going to be selling NFTs and giving away limited edition collectibles only at eBay during Comic-Con, which we will not be selling on the OneOf or eBay marketplace before that. So I guess let's just open up to questions.
Yeah, just want to get a timeline for everything so everybody are prepared. So today, you guys can everyone can go onto oneof.com/slamgirl and oneof.com/fully charged. You can claim your free NFT as well as sign up for the an email to really get the details for both collections. And tomorrow, basically ahead of Comic-Con, we're launching the digital collections exclusively on eBay for primary sale, and secondary market will be on oneof.com. That will open shortly after the primary sale is over. And then this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we will be both the OneOf team and the Fully Charged and Slam Girl team are going to be at the eBay Comic-Con booth. It's a huge booth. You can't miss it. The Slam Grow team, OneOf team will be there all 4 days, and the Slam Grow team will be there on Thursday and Friday, and then the Fully Charged team will be signing autographs on Saturday. There will be a eBay Comic-Con exclusive additional NFT plus physical items that you can only get if you happen to be in New York and stop by the booth. You'll be able to actually purchase additional kind of exclusive, super limited edition NFTs at the eBay booth. And certainly if you couldn't make it, I'm sure you'll be immediately available on the OneOf secondary marketplace anyways. So that's kind of the little bit of a timeline. So the easiest thing to do, I know it's a lot of information, so easy thing to do is just go to oneof.com, make sure you sign up for grab not only the free NFT right now, but also sign up for kind of information about the two full collections. Eric, you want to take some questions?
Yeah, absolutely. Polygon host, I just messaged you privately to pin, if you don't mind pinning a couple of those URLs that I put in our Telegram chat. And I guess, yeah, let's open it up to some audience questions. If there are any, maybe we conquer it all. If there's anyone in the audience,
Eric, I just brought up Ali.
Okay, cool. Hey, Ali.
Hey guys, thanks for bringing me up. Just a couple questions. I'm not completely familiar with the eBay NFT marketplace. Will they accept fiat? Does it have to just be crypto? What's the transactions like? And also for some of the projects that will be there, are there going to be any POAPs for any current holders of previous projects, or just in collaboration with you guys? Thanks.
Yeah, I can take that. So the eBay marketplace, it just you can purchase with any existing payments without crypto. So it's a fiat marketplace. You can pay with credit card or PayPal. So at checkout, you'll be able to do that. And then once you purchase your NFT, you'll basically receive a exclusive link. So when you click on that link, that'll direct you to oneof.com. You basically can claim your NFT on oneof.com with or without having an existing crypto wallet. So we'll basically generate a wallet for you if you don't already. And then secondary, you can list it for resale, and any user can purchase on the secondary market on OneOf using either crypto or fiat.
Will people be limited to listing it on OneOf, or will they be able to list it on other marketplaces? Not that they would want to, but I just want to know if that option is available.
Yeah. So you do have an option to export your NFT from OneOf into your own MetaMask wallet, and then once you're exported, you're able to kind of list it on other marketplaces. Because it is a fiat credit card transaction, we do have a holding period just to avoid credit card fraud. But once the holding period is over, you can export and list it for sale on any other marketplaces.
Great, that's it. Thank you very much.
Patrick, you're on stage, and Sheik, you're coming up next.
Okay, yeah, this is, I go by Pat, or y'all call me Jay because I have a different call sign for the other one. But my question is there any utility attached to the NFTs that are dropping tomorrow?
So for the SlamGrow NFTs that are dropping tomorrow, we're using it as an allow list token, or like a gated token for a future generative drop that we're going to be launching in the near future. We haven't set a date on the gen drop yet. We're still obviously building community, but the SlamGrow team has already designed the attributes for the generative drop, and we're just ingesting the metadata into our system. That's nerd talk for we have a generative drop coming. So those that purchase the initial villain collection, battle scene villain collections tomorrow will have the opportunity to purchase the generative drop before anyone else.
And will there be different access if you have a diamond versus a platinum?
Pat, we haven't. The short answer is that no. There's not different access right now to the different tiers, different pricing points. However, as you know, I know that you're an active community member at OneOf. As you know from previous collections, we've been known to pivot and we've been known to iterate and think of different perks and utilities along the way. There's nothing to announce right now in that regard. But I can see us looking at these different tiers in the future and maybe coming up with certain different utilities or perks we can add later on. But we're just launching the collections tomorrow, and we'll be building on the path moving forward.
Yeah, let me talk about roadmap a little bit. So both collections are basically, have this first Genesis drop. The Genesis drop for fully charged is a series of medallions that's a gold, platinum, diamond tier medallion that actually gets you redemption rights into the second drop, which is a generative drop of the characters. So fully charged is similar, but the first Genesis drop is basically battle cards. There are actually 2 sets of battle cards. We're releasing 4 right now. 4 really kind of pretty awesome, terrifying villains that is battling Slam Girl. There will be different designs and for each of the battle cards that you can collect now. And there's 4 more villains will be launching as a subsequent drop with four new villains. The second full collection for Slam Girl is also a generative drop. And then really leads into right. So basically, if you have any of the battle cards, they'll give you kind of guaranteed pre-sale access to the generative drop, which is very limited. And really, what both collection leads to, I talked about a little bit at the top of this hour. Really, we're building a battle arena software that in 2023 will be launching with a few IPs. So really, your generative characters will be able to kind of battle each other, and really, there's a lot of ways we could incorporate the Genesis cards as well as additional utilities or attributes or boosts or benefits to be usable in some way or shape or form in the battle arena. So we're a little far from that on-chain contract from being finished yet. So that's a 2023 launch. But certainly, the whole collection is all 3 collections for each of the 2 projects are kind of a cohesive plan that really leads to kind of collecting into actually a lot of interactions down the road.
Eric, we just brought Will up on stage as well too.
Oh, hi, guys.
Hey, Will, welcome.
Well, hi. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I had to be using my phone, so my apologies. But I'm here, and I can't tell you how happy I am to be here with you, Sherelle.
Okay.
From Hero Maker. I got my free Hero Maker NFT yesterday, and I just love it. I think it's a great looking property.
Rockin'. Cool. Well, thanks. Yeah, I was looking for you down in the audience. I sorry I couldn't pull you up when we were doing all the intros. We're doing some questions now, but definitely if there's anyone in the audience that have questions for the legendary Will Mineo, that'd be great because he's here with us today. So let's continue on in the questions, and then maybe towards the end, Will, I'll let you talk a little bit about the Slam Girl collection and about your history as well, because I didn't do it justice earlier, and I don't think Cheryl did it justice either. So we're right there with it.
Well, thank you guys. I'm blushing, though you can't see it.
Eric, we just brought Sheik up on stage. Everybody loves a good story. You're up next.
Cool. Everyone loves the shake.
Hello. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Oh, I guess
Yeah.
we swapped it around. Everybody loves a good story. We'll go ahead and get you, and then Sheik will throw it to you.
Otherwise known to Cheryl and Eric and Will Minio as Manchild. How you guys
Oh,
doing?
hello again.
Hello.
Hi, man-child. Are we going to see you in the flesh in New York?
I am doing my best to get there. I am trying to figure things out with Eric. I do hope to be there and to, enjoying the festivities and the moment, because I think this is a beautiful, um, introduction into this space, and you guys representing Stan Lee is amazing. And I just want to congratulate you. The question that I had was already asked, but I did realize that you guys didn't mention um, the metaverse that you guys were looking to. And I think that that would go a long way with giving people that may not really, really understand how deep this is going to get um, the scope and why they should be getting in now. So if you would speak to
Okay.
that, it would probably go a long way.
Okay. Well, man-child, as you know from our previous
Yeah.
discussions, when Sherelle got to be the master of ceremonies for the Stan Lee creations from his old internet company, there are more than 100 properties, many of which I helped co-create with Stan. And Slam Girl is the tip of the metaverse iceberg. And as it is, even with Slam Girl, I've spent the last 8 or 9 months with Sherelle building out the property from the original cartoon, where we've developed backstories for all of the villains. She has a supporting cast that you haven't seen yet. And there's another thing coming up, probably in the third drop, called the Secret Society of Slam Girls, that is really an empowering, enabling, and inclusive element to the series that nobody's seen before. But in addition to that, we have access to all of those Stan Lee web characters, like the Seventh Portal characters, the Accuser. There was one that I really wanted us to go live with that we had a cartoon done on, and the company folded before it got out, called the Drifter, who's like a time traveler who just looks cool and is trying to straighten out the timeline to prevent a terrible future. And
That sounds
beyond that,
amazing.
And
there's art.
Battle School Tranquility.
Oh yeah, and I got to talk about Battle School, because that's one of my favorites.
Hmm.
Now, one of the things you might not realize about Stan is that Stan was a very progressive guy. Like back in 1981 or so, he went to Japan, met with Gene Pelk, the Marvel rep there, and he saw the early versions of the Sentai shows. Like at that point, it was Battle Fever J and forgive me, I'm not pulling up Sun Vulcan, and then the Spider-Man show. And he also saw the Space Sheriff shows like Gavan and Scheider. And Stan was big into it. And so when we were working together at his own company, we decided to try at developing something that was similarly cool, but with its own unique look. And so we came up with a property called Battle School Tranquility. And I don't want to give too much about the story away, but it involves kids between 10 and 18 that have these alien devices that graft onto their neurosystem, and allows them to become these incredible bioorganic robots. And it's one of my favorite design things I've ever done, and I can't wait till we can bring that to you guys.
Oh, you got me hyped with that one. I didn't know about that one. Oh my God.
Well,
Just
we
take
got
my
lots
money.
more to
Just
come.
take my money. Good gracious.
well, we did a little piece of art that will show up when Scuzzle is ready to show its face into the world. That includes 2 of the Battle School characters, and they're just so cool. I did the drawings myself, but they were colored by the amazing Frank D'Amata, who's
Wow.
like one of the top colorists in the industry. And I got to tell you, it looks better than anything I could have done by myself.
Just bring a picture to
beautiful.
Comic-Con. You bring a picture to Comic-Con, please. Just please. Just one.
Okay,
I'll
we'll be looking for you.
Okay.
And in fact, speaking of it, if you show up at Comic-Con, I'm not sure that's been scheduled yet, but we've been discussing doing some live drawings there. And I promised to do between 5 and 12 drawings. But I thought that was kind of a cheat for the fans who might be waiting. And so the last couple of days, I spent my morning practice time doing rough Slam Girl drawings. And so I've got a stack of them, probably about 30 now. And man, child, if you show up and and tell me your man-child. I'll save one for you.
Yes,
Now,
yes, yes.
now,
Eric,
now
you getting me in, Eric.
Will,
Man,
Will, you're going to find that you're going to meet probably about 30 guys saying they're man-child now.
Well,
I'm sure, but
you
there's
got to
only
remember my
one.
voice. I got this. I have a very unique voice, so don't worry.
there's no way that I can forget your voice. All right, man, child,
Take
let me
care,
say
guys.
this. Let me also tell you, we also have Hero Maker coming out as well. So I know that you're one of our strongest like comic fanatics in the audience as part of our community. But definitely check out what Garib and Hero Maker have coming out for Fully Charged as well. They will also be at Comic Con on Saturday, so you can certainly meet Garib and his crew and Jim as
Definitely. Yeah, I would
on,
love to.
on that Saturday. And Will kind of touched on Scuzzle as well, which I didn't bring up earlier. But Scuzzle is a cyberspace fan club that the Slam Girl team is creating and will be launching in the very near future, potentially within a week's time. And we're going to be giving out free memberships to all of the holders of Slam Girl NFTs also. So after you purchase the Slam Girl NFT, and it shows up in your OneOf account, we have what's called a vault system on OneOf, and in that vault you will find all the directions that you need to join the Scuzzle community, Scuzzle fan club, with a free membership courtesy of the Slam Girl team, which is a metaverse fan club for lack of a better term. But we'll be releasing more details on that once the team launches it. Don't want to be premature right now, but thanks for coming up, and let's
congratulations, guys.
Thanks.
Can I ask my question now?
Yes, please.
Okay. I saw that the website is restricted for other countries, so and it could be hard for them to get their NFT. So, is it going to be available for other countries to buy in the secondary market, or they are still going to be restricted?
Yeah, good question. So you're asking about country restrictions for purchase, I believe, correct?
Sure, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not a OneOf policy. It's an eBay policy relating to digital goods. eBay is allowing the sale of the primaries for both for both Fully Charged and Slam Girl to happen in the U.S., Canada, Germany, and the UK. So tomorrow's sale on eBay will only be available to those countries. However, because the quantities are limited and the prices are very affordable, we're expecting, and these collections are in high demand, we're expecting these collections to sell out very quickly, at which point they will be available for sale in the secondary market on OneOf, and OneOf is open to almost every geographical location. So you'll be able to pick these up in the secondary on OneOf if you're not on the OneOf marketplace, if you're not able to on eBay because of geographical restrictions.
Okay, so thank you very much. I would appreciate you answering my question. I had other question. I don't know if I could ask.
Yeah, go ahead. First of all, where are you located?
Right now I'm in Nigeria.
In India. Okay, cool.
Nigeria, not India.
Oh, Nigeria. Okay.
Sure. So, I just want to know more about the benefits of holding the NFTs.
Well, I think Lynn kind of mentioned what the future roadmap is for both of these collections, which is we expect that these collections and these characters will be living in a battle game, in a Web3 battle game, in the somewhat near future. Also, you're also participating early in what we think are going to be some of the most legendary comic-related IPs that start off in the Web3 format and then make their way into something bigger, whether that be a game, movie, etc. Whereas other comic properties that you're familiar with kind of start off in the comic book form, in the paper form, and then find their way into these other properties. We're really launching both Fully Charged and Slam Girl from the Web3 format. Lynn, I don't know if you wanted to add to that.
This is Garib.
Sure.
I can add as well. Yeah, one of the things like what we did at Kumite, the first drop that we did was we had a big battle tournament between the different families, and the team that won, the Goblins, will make a much bigger impact in the comic book that we're now doing. And we're going to do the same thing in Fully Charged. We're going to be able to, create opportunities for the fan and community engagement that's going to have an impact on the comic books that we're going to do. And then we're also ultimately want to wind up doing trading card games and all kinds of things that we will make sure that the fan community participates in that, and that things that we could do that are just token gated as well. And then also what we do is, one of the things that when you purchase, when they go on sale, we're offering up these medallions. What that will do is over time, we will be able to, create really cool, unique collectibles for the medallion holders, because those are the people that supported us first and early on. And we're going to be able to create opportunities where they can get things that future collector and holders won't have access to. So that's why we really encourage people to get involved early, because we've already shown through our prior collection, that there is an immense amount of benefit to having these medallions.
Well, I can add to what Garrett's saying. The Slam Girl, we already have digital comic books produced, ready to go. The Slam Girl origin story and the introduction of Slam Cat and all kind of other goodies. We have sentient beer cans that we can drop. We have mutations that can happen. All of this is done. All the artwork is done. We're just working with OneOf to figure out how to orderly release them and build up the following and have a very active utility that everybody can enjoy, and that this is not just a one and done. This is an ongoing property.
Yeah, well said. All right, so we're coming up on an hour and 40 minutes now with this AMA. It's being hosted by our friends over at Polygon, which is where both collections are being minted on top of. I want to be respectful of Polygon's time, because I'm sure they'll be doing other AMAs with other projects moving forward.
Eric, if it's okay, we have Carol up on stage and we can wrap it there.
Yeah, after Carol, I'll end it with some closing motivational talk, and then we'll go. But yeah, Carol, what's up?
Yeah, any provisions for one pass holders for tomorrow's drops? Is there a pre-sale or anything?
Yeah, great question. We weren't able to gate the drop for one pass holders on eBay just because we're doing it on eBay and we're not doing it on the OneOf site. However, breaking news, you are getting a free NFT. So one pass holders will be getting one of the four battle scene edition NFTs for free in your OneOf account. And I think we'll be dropping that not tomorrow. We'll probably be dropping that around Comic-Con. So don't tell the other one pass holders, but you're all getting one for free. All right, just to start your collection. And of course, you can come on oneof.com right now to claim a free NFT as well. But there's a special free NFT that just one pass holders will get from the collection.
Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. In closing, we're coming up on an hour and 45 minutes. In closing, both Fully Charged and Slam Girl collections go live tomorrow, 9 o'clock on the eBay marketplace. If you're having a hard time finding it, all you got to do is come on oneof.com/fully charged, oneof.com/Slam Girl. You can register your interest right now and claim your free NFT, and then you'll get notified tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern time, when the collection drops. Like I said, if you're located, you can certainly claim the free NFT if you're located anywhere in the world. If you're located anywhere outside of Canada, America, Germany, or the UK, you won't be able to participate in the primary sale on the eBay marketplace, but you will be able to participate in the secondary on OneOf. OneOf, in my humble opinion, is the easiest NFT marketplace in the world to onboard into. You don't have to own cryptocurrency. You don't have to have a crypto wallet to purchase an NFT on the OneOf marketplace. It takes less than 2 minutes to set up a free account. So please go ahead and do so if you're interested in these collections, which, like I said, are being released by some of the most notable figures in the comic book space, with Will Mineo and Garib and Cheryl Rhodes and everyone else that's involved with both of these teams. One of the things at OneOf is we don't necessarily like to just work with like individual one-offs. We like to work with projects that have a real team behind them, and certainly with Hero Maker, with Stanley Holdings and Scuzzle and Immortals Group, we have these teams that are supporting these projects beyond what OneOf is doing, in conjunction, obviously, with eBay and obviously being built on top of Polygon. So with that being said, I'd like to close out the room. Unless there are any final thoughts, we'll close it out in 10 seconds. Any questions, Mike, or are we good?
Good on questions if the floor wants to say some closing remarks.
I just thank you all for coming, and I look forward to seeing you at the New York Comic Con.
There you go. Polygon, I want to thank you for hosting us. We'll definitely be doing this in the future. I'm sure we'll be launching other future comic drops on top of Polygon. other future sports drops on top of Polygon, and I'm sure we have some big brand partnerships we'll be launching in the future on top of Polygon as well. It's been a real pleasure. Like Will just said, I'm sorry, like Cheryl just said, keep getting you guys confused today. Like Cheryl just said, it's been a real pleasure hosting all of you. Please claim your free NFT on oneof.com right now. And we'll close the room out in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a good day, everyone.
Goodbye.